For this video, I wanted to go over grid method again. For those of you who were in person, we went over this in class, but measuring with a ruler can be kind of tricky sometimes. So I just wanted to go over how we make the grid on our watercolor page. So we're pretending this has our nice watercolor tie-dye on it, and we're ready to grid it to 2" by 2" squares. And how I'm measuring that or figuring that is that 2" from here to here and 2" from here to here. So every square is 2" by 2". So by the time we get done gridding our watercolor page, we will have 4 even boxes on across the top and 5 even boxes down the side. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over to the blank side and we'll just go over how to make that grid again. So we've got our ruler. Our ruler measures to 12, so we have plenty of room to do an 8 by 10 sheet, which our sheet is 8 across, 10 down. We're on the inches side of our ruler. Some of you guys have rulers like mine where it has inches on one side and inches on the other, and they're just split into smaller segments on one side. Some of you guys have rulers that have inches on one side, centimeters on the other side, and I just want to make sure that you are measuring from the inch side, which is bigger increments than the centimeter. So we always want to measure from 0. What I mean by that is the end of your ruler, if you're using a ruler like mine, is where you start measuring, or that is 0. You got to line up 0 to wherever it is you're starting your measurement from. So for this page, we're starting our measurement on the end of the page, the very end of the page. So I'm lining up 0 with the end of the page. Some of you guys have rulers that have a little section before it starts, and it'll actually be marked to 0. So you want to put your mark on that line. It'll be something like this, and that line will say 0. Okay, so for my ruler, it's the edge of the ruler to the edge of the page. I want to kind of look straight over top of where I'm making my line. That way I don't have it over to one side or the other too much. Okay, so I want to mark every 2 inches, and I'm making little vertical tick marks. So 2, 4, and 6. I have to make these dots so that I have reference points to line my ruler up. I'm using my ruler in 2 different ways for this project. When I make grid, I use my ruler to measure and get accurate measurements. And then I'm also using my ruler to have a nice straight edge to draw our straight lines from to make our grid. Somewhere down in the middle of the page, I'm going to line up 0 to the edge of the page again, and I'm going to mark 2, 4, 6. And then down at the bottom of the page, again, lining my ruler up 0 to the edge of the page, marking 2, 4, and 6. Now I have these series of dots, and I'm going to play connect the dots, okay? Making sure that while I'm gridding over my watercolor page, I'm doing this very lightly with pencil. I'm doing mine a little darker so you can see it on my screen, but you should make your grid super light so that you can erase it when you're done. All right, so you can see my little tick marks, 1, 2, 3, and I've lined up my ruler really, really close to those. And then I'm going to hold my ruler down with my hand split like this so that it's nice and strong holding that ruler. I don't want this ruler to move on me when I'm trying to draw my straight line. Then I can put my pencil up to the edge here, lean it kind of over to the side so that I'm pushing on that ruler all the way down, and I've made this nice straight line. When I pull back and look at it, it looks straight to me. It doesn't look like it's leaning to any side, one side or the other. I'm going to go ahead and connect my dots all the way across my page. Make sure you line it up really good before you make that mark. Hold it down nice and firm. Get a good grip on that pencil. Now I've got 4 columns, but I need to make these into boxes. So I've got to turn my page and then start the measuring process all over again. Somewhere towards the top of my page, I've got to line up 0 to the edge of my paper, and I'm going to mark 2, 4, 6, and then 8. Somewhere towards the middle, I'll line 0 up to the edge of my paper and mark 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then somewhere towards the bottom, line 0 up to the edge of my paper again and mark 2, 4, 6, 8. Now I've got a series of dots so that I can make my ruler nice and straight. If I had just one reference point, I wouldn't know where to put the end of my ruler. I wouldn't be able to line it up straight. So I've got to have these reference points so that I make this line really nice and straight. So I've lined it up, hold my ruler nice and strong. Okay. And then I've got to do my last two, and should have really nice even boxes when I'm done. Okay. Now, when I pull away and I straighten up my paper, I have as close to perfectly square boxes as I could possibly get, all 2 inches by 2 inches, 4 across the top, 5 down the side, and I have the same amount of boxes that I had on my drawing, and now I can draw box for box. I can transfer my drawing from the photograph to my project with minimal mistake, really, because I'm doing box for box. So the point of doing the grid drawing is to draw more accurately. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Happy drawing. Bye.